How you doing, everybody? This is Jonathan from BFF Bootcamp, and in this video I'm going to go over the new spreadsheet that we use to track your progress. So as usual, we're going to start off with a Jane Doe file. The email is optional. We're going to give her a starting weight of 150 pounds, starting body fat of 31% body fat. She is 35 years old. She has a goal weight of 125 pounds at 21% body fat. She's 5'5", female, and her goal is to lose weight. So a lot of things are still the same. The starting status is going to give the breakdown of the fat weight to non-fat weight. The difference with the change necessary is that you will have your fat loss on the left and the non-fat weight loss or muscle gain requirements on the right, and everything is going to be in pounds. So for instance, if her goal was to carry 3% body fat, which is unrealistic, but for the sake of this example, you'll see that non-fat weight loss now turns to muscle gain. She would have to gain 17.75 pounds as opposed to losing almost 5 pounds of non-fat weight. And it will still give you the goal composition, your goal fat weight carried, and your goal non-fat weight carried. So let's give her a date. Now there are some new things. We have the weight, we have the body fat, we have the fat weight in pounds, and now we have percentage fat loss to goal. That will essentially let you know how close you are to your ultimate fat loss goal. So for instance, since Jane Doe is looking to lose 20.25 pounds of fat, obviously she has not made any progress toward that because these are the same numbers as her starting status. But if we were to put some new numbers in, at let's say 35, and she's now 27% body fat, you'll see that she is at 50% of her fat loss goal because she's lost about 10 pounds of fat so far. All right, so she's at 50%. Now, the next thing you'll see is the non-fat weight. That's the same as the starting status that you'll see up top. All right, that's not new. We've also added contest points. So every 6 weeks we do measurements to let you know how you're doing over time, and we award the top 3 people with their contest points. However, nobody else knows how they did. So we now have your contest points in the last available cell, so you'll know your percentage of fat weight relative to total weight lost over the course of your 6 weeks. The girth measurements are largely the same. The one thing that we did change is that we added, let's make this 33, let's make this 40. We added your waist to hip ratio, and now the body fat ranges are going to be below the girth measurements. They're going to be fit, healthy, unhealthy, and very unhealthy, and the waist to hip ratios are going to be right below. And that essentially just lets you know, based on your waist to hip ratio, your risk for metabolic disease in terms of carrying too much belly fat relative to your hip size. So ideally, you want both your body fat range and your waist to hip ratio to be in the green. You'll see a lot of cases where the waist to hip ratio is close to the green, but the body fat may be a little bit high. So you want both to be in the green, and then you're okay. Now let's talk about what certain numbers mean. If I'm looking at Jane Doe, from 150 to 135, she went from 31% to 27% body fat. She lost 10 pounds of fat weight, and she lost about 5 pounds of non-fat weight. Now, if this number goes down, this doesn't mean that she's losing muscle. Our main thing is just making sure that her body fat percentage is going down as well. If the body fat percentage did not go down, and this number went down, then we can start to attribute it to a loss in muscle mass, which is something we want to avoid. If this number is going down, the body fat has to go down with it. So if this were a case where she dropped down to 135 pounds and she was at 31% body fat still, I would have to question how Jane Doe is dieting, because if her weight is going to drop down this much, her body fat should be dropping. Otherwise, she's losing weight that she doesn't need to be losing. Because as you can see, her fat weight doesn't change that much. As a matter of fact, there's a larger change in non-fat weight than there is fat weight. So you want to make sure that the body fat is going to be going down as you make your progress. Moving over to the opposite side, we've made our calorie breakdown a little bit more detailed. So this activity level is going to correlate to the number of hours that you're exercising in a given day. That you're working out. So most people are going to be a 1, as not many people do workouts outside of BFF Bootcamp. But if you were to work out 2 hours a day, you'd get a 2, and that automatically increases the amount of calories that you need. The second thing that you'll notice is the aggression. All right, and that just basically gives you your caloric deficit. Not everybody can handle a 500 calorie deficit for their diet. That might be too much to start. So if you want to have a minimal caloric deficit, you're going to give yourself a 1. If you want to increase your caloric deficit, you're going to give yourself a 2. As you can see, the calories drop from 1600 to 1442. And if you want to be highly aggressive, you're going to give yourself a 3. That drops you to 1261. This will change your calories for both your workout day and your rest day. But no matter what, you will not be able to drop below 1,000 calories in any category. Now, these are going to be your calories for weight maintenance. As you can see, it's weight maintenance up top. This is once you've gotten to your goal and you're looking to maintain this amount of calories that you need to maintain your weight on your workout day, and this amount of calories that you need to maintain on your rest day. However, most people are looking to lose weight, so they'll be paying more attention to these two numbers. This is going to be the number of calories that you want to take in order to create fat loss on a workout day, and this is the number of calories that you want to take in to maintain fat loss on a day that you're not working out at all. And based on whether you're looking to lose weight or maintain, you'll have a breakdown of the carbs, proteins, and fats that you need. These, of course, will be broken down into grams. So for your workout day, this 1,261 calories that you see up here will require you to take in 126 grams of carbs, 95 grams of protein, 42 grams of fat. For your rest day, where you're taking in 1,000 calories, you're going to be taking in 100 grams of carbs, 75 grams of protein, 33 grams of fat. And this is all based on the zone diet, which essentially has a 40-30-30 breakdown, where 40% of your calories are going to come from carbohydrates, 30% of your calories are going to come from protein, and 30% of your calories are going to come from fat. That way, you'll be able to know exactly what you need to take in if you're not using something like MyFitnessPal. Below, you're going to see a lot of the same pieces of information that you saw on the older sheet, which is essentially just going to give you some no-brainers of things that you want to take away from your diet, some things that you definitely want to consume, and also ranges that you want to maintain in order to avoid metabolic disease. So it lets you know where you want to be for your blood pressure, for your cholesterol, and it also gives you some good protein sources. So I hope you find it a little bit more helpful. We wanted to get more detailed with the calories. We wanted to include more ranges so that you know exactly what your body composition means, and we wanted to let you know how you're progressing. So we put in your percentage of fat loss to goal, and we put in your contest points. So definitely make sure to go over your measurements. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, always feel free to let us know.